What's going on, guys? We are in a lovely little crawl space. Working on one of these. But he also has an Ecobee thermostat in the house. It's blank. Don't have any power at it. So this is one of those deals where the air handler is in this tiny crawl space, and of course it's going to be on the opposite side of the house from where the crawl door is, so you gotta crawl all the way back down and around to get over here. Anyway, so let's figure this out. There's no disconnect down here. The breaker in the main panel in the garage is not tripped. There is no disconnect, which where we are there should be one to turn off the power to the equipment. It is ream, and it is the one that has that little power plug in it, but you still have live power feeding the equipment when you take the plug out. There's supposed to be a disconnect here. I don't know how it passed inspection, but it is what it is. We'll get our electrician to maybe give him an estimate to take care of that. But anyway, let's figure out why the thermostat's blank. So we'll take this plug out and we'll get the door off. And then I don't have 24 volts at the thermostat in the house. Guy at 3 o'clock in the morning calling or sending emails about, he woke up, they got a baby, so the baby woke him up and he just noticed that the air conditioning wasn't on. But I mean, I'm sorry your baby woke you up, but yeah, wait till normal hours to call in that situation. It's 72 degrees outside during the day, and it's in the 60s at night right now. This is what, the second week of January, but it ain't an emergency. I mean, you need to get the air conditioner running, and I get all that, but 3 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, let me check, make sure we got power feeding this thing. Oh, goody. So that's what we've got here. This thing. Let's see what we got coming in. I ain't worried about whether or not you can see the meter. Take my word for it. So we do have 45 volts, whatever it is. Anyway, so we got power feeding this thing. Let me make sure before I put that back in that we do not have a blown fuse. I can figure out where the fuse is in this. It's probably back here behind this daggum plate. But there's my transformer. So let me check my transformer. Put the plug back in. I hear the transformer humming. You piece of shit. Alright, so we do have 29 volts at the transformer. So, there's my hot wire. Of course, there is a, okay, we do There is a condensate pump down there tied in. I mean, super sure the guy's not running his air conditioning in January, but we'll check that in a minute. I just want to make sure I got 24 volts. It's actually coming from this system, which is going to be right here. Take off this wire nut real quick, and we will check. Let's see if we've got 24 volts right here. And we do. So we got 24 volts going in these two yellow wires right here. If you look at them, it's going to be the safety switch in the condensate pump. So we do have 24 volts coming off the transformer going out on this yellow wire to that pump. And then this should be the one coming back. So let's check that one. See if we have 24 volts coming back from our condensate pump. And if we do not, then that's where we're going to go next. I'll go back over here. So I do have 28 volts coming back from our condensate pump. So that goes into this wire, which then goes back to another safety switch, which is going to be that little SS2 switch right there. So we got 24 going in through our condensate switch safety, coming back here to that, and that's going to send 24 volts through that SS2 switch, and then it's going to bring it right back here to what should be our R going to our thermostat. So let's check to see if we have 24 volts there. And I do not. If you want to see the meter, it's right there. I don't know if you can see the screen, but I do not have 24 volts coming back from our little switch over here. So, is there water in it? Let's find out. It's wet. And it's full of water. Let that pour down there on the ground. I guess there's some water in the pan too in there. Yep, it's not frozen. So let me let that water drain out of there. It's a short little trap. Runs right over to that pump. I'm not guessing that it's clogged up. Let me look inside the pump real quick. I know we got 24 volts going through it, but see how much water is inside this thing. That's kind of funny right there. There's no water in it at all. So that's backed up. But there's no water in the condensate pump. I mean, there's a little bit down in the bottom. And I don't know how well you can see down in there, but I mean, I stuck my screwdriver all the way down in there. Let me get something longer. We'll see how deep this thing is. Well, let me get something else. Something that'll show me a water line. Yeah, there's about an eighth of an inch of water down there. Whatever. Huh. We'll check that and make sure we got power to it. The light's on, but I can't. Some of these, the light's on, sometimes it's off. I can't tell. I mean, I've hit the button. Let me try. That's the reset button, I think, right there. Huh. Yeah, that's the trip. So that thing was tripped. Let me check this drain trap and figure out, make sure it's not plugged up, or make sure this thing's draining. It should drain right in there. It's just a short little trap. Alright guys, so this drain line trap was blocked right here. I don't know why the GFI was tripped. This is a new condensate pump from what I'm looking at. It's not original for sure. I'll have to see, ask him. It doesn't, there's no dust and dirt on the plug wire here on the cable. So I'm guessing this thing's been replaced in the last year maybe. Doesn't look original compared to the rest of the equipment, but I'll double check with him if anybody's done that. But the trap was clogged, so I'm gonna run some water through this thing, test this pump. Could just be he's got a bad GFI outlet. These crawl spaces around here can be kind of humid. Of course, I just put some water in it a little bit, but so I poured water back through the drain pan to flush all this out after I blew the clog out. So I'm gonna put this condensate pump back in place, and then I'm gonna pour the rest of this water in this pump. And we'll see what happens. I ain't got my cutters with me. People, you don't have to run 6 inches of PVC pipe down to the bottom of a condensate pump. It just needs to go in about an inch and you're fine. So yeah, they run a piece of pipe and they'll run it all the way almost to the bottom of the pump, trying to get it up and get it out. All you need is it to go down in this hole for about a ½ inch or so, and you're fine. The water's going to go in there. It don't have to be a mile long. Loose. So I've reset that. So let's pour some water now in this pump. See if it comes on. Make sure that GFI doesn't trip. Hopefully there's enough water in this jug to get this thing to come on. Fill it up enough. There we go. And I did put a bit of cleaner in there to flush out that vinyl tubing. So it didn't trip, it came on. So it is what it is. Clogged drain line. Air conditioner in the middle of January. I mean, it warmed up to like 68 or 69 degrees yesterday. So the guy cut his air conditioner on. I mean, come on. 3 days ago, what's it, Friday the 26th. Monday and Tuesday morning, it was 17 degrees. 32 degrees in the afternoon. Now it's 70. And people want to run the air conditioner. I mean, this is nice weather, folks. Just, you know. So anyway, I'm going to go in, tell this guy, hey, listen, it's maintenance related. The drain line was clogged. It backed up, tripped this SS2 switch for whatever reason. Find out about this pump. Maybe he needs to get his GFI changed. How recently that was put in. It might have been the GFI was the problem the whole time. If it was tripping before, maybe he didn't need a new pump. Maybe it was his outlet. But with this being plugged, we didn't have any water in here. And that's why it overfilled and it tripped this SS2 switch over here. And that broke the power to the thermostat and shut everything down. So, anyway, guys, this is what it is. Heating and air in the Carolinas. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe, appreciate you watching, and enjoy your day.